Presented for your approval, this 2013 Toyota Highlander Limited. It has the V6, it has the metallic gray, dark gray exterior paint color, it's got the leather inside, it's got the sunroof, it's got it all. It does have that V6, the Toyota V6. I'd take it into my hands here and show you. Take the life into my hands, actually, this extremely hot hood. But there it is. The engine bay on this car is just about immaculate. You could probably eat some scrambled eggs off of it, but I don't know if I would go ahead and do that myself. Really a nice looking car. It has 26,908 miles at the moment. I'm gonna close up the hood here. Hopefully you got your eyeballs full. Got the fog lights underneath. And a nice looking handsome front end, if you ask me. No dents or scratches on this 2013 Highlander. Some nice looking Toyo open country tires on their 5-spoke factory rims. Plenty of meat left on them, on the tires, not on the rims, of course. Plenty of stuff left, plenty of miles left to go. Now I want to show you a few of the trick features of this vehicle. I have the key fob here in my hand. As you can see, there it is. What we're going to do is lock it. You can hear it beeping there. I'm going to put it in my pocket, and now when I approach the vehicle, if you see that little dot on the handle, and you get near that handle, it should unlock the car for us. And if you want to open it, it's already unlocked. Now the other feature for this, and as well, when you're walking away, you press this, the car. And then, let's say you change your mind. It unlocks. Lock. Unlock. It's pretty full. So you can see the power seats here on the passenger side. Highlander badging, of course. A couple of places. We do have the upgraded audio system. It's got JBL, and it definitely can bump, you know? You can jam out to Kids Bop or whatever it is that kids listen to these days. Anyway, it does come equipped with a dash cover to kind of keep everything looking good underneath. It is looking pretty good, so I guess the previous owner knew what he was onto. It comes with all kinds of features. This is the limited edition after all. Here's the fairly cavernous glove box with a nice full set of books for your 2013 Highlander Limited, as well as some kind of, what is this? Indications as to how to start your car. Very nice to have. You'll find storage all over this thing. There's a pocket here. There are a couple of cup holders there. Obviously, some more storage / cup holders inside of that. And the requisite center console storage as well. We'll get to some more of that once we get to the back of the car, but I'll give you a little preview as to some more. A little extra storage. Quite a deep cavern, I have to say. You could probably put a cell phone in there. I'm not going to test it out at the moment, though. It does come with heated seats. I don't really feel the need for this right now, considering it's 115 degrees in Phoenix, but, you know, eventually it'll be cold again, right? Right? Heated seats work. I'll show you them when we turn the car on in a minute, though. So this is a Highlander Limited. Now, some of its real party tricks come together in the back of the car. You can see I've put all the seats down just to show you a good indication of how much storage you can get. Let's make sure there's no bump in that rear carpeting. So lots and lots of storage inside of this Highlander here. You can see just how much space there is. It is a 7-passenger vehicle. Now, what you got to do here to make 7 passengers is to put up that seat, which you can clearly do one-handed. There's one of them. And this thing in the middle here, that makes your 7th with the back 2 in the rear. Now, the thing is, you can make it a 6-seater. I'll get to that again in a minute. Keep you in suspense for a little while. Really clean interior, the beige kind of leather. Beige, cream, it depends what your gender is, I think, on that one, as to what you call that color. You could do a little bit of towing. I'm not quite sure what the towing capacity is, but the fact that they've put a hitch and wiring harness on the rear of this from the factory says you might be okay towing something. I would consult the manual though, and you can find it up in that cavernous glove compartment. Now, another one of these party tricks I mentioned before, I got that fob right here. Now I believe when you press this button, it'll activate the hatch. And after about 8 or 9 seconds, it lifts up hands-free, so you can load up your car with all your stuff, all kinds of stuff. I did mention the third seats, and I don't want you to call me a liar, so I'll show them to you now. All you got to do is pick up this thing, the seat comes back, then you can reach forward and put up the headrest. It's as simple as that, really. It's not the most, well, let's say, complicated and thick seat you could ever find, but it definitely does the job for the back seat here. Same thing, of course, over here. Easy one-handed operation, and just like that, you've got something of a, I don't know what you'd call this, an executive seat in the back with acres of legroom, but I'm not sure that's the most common way to use these. So a simple pull of this switch, strap, whatever this is, allows you to lower the headrest, and it disengages the lock on the seat itself. Same thing is true for this one. I'll show, oh wait, it's this, excuse me. All in one motion, and it sort of locks in place that way. And you can cover up the back seats again. And while this fob does allow you to press this button again to lower the hatch here, the rear tailgate, you can also just press this button and it will do the same function here. So let's try that. After, again, 8 seconds, it locks itself, latches itself. It's up to you to lock this though. So you've got that option for yourself, which is great. You also have got this little button here. Press that, it disengages the back glass. So let's say you just got a little bit of stuff to put in here. Easy enough to do, and then you can close it again. No trouble at all. The last thing back here to mention, there is a, right there. I don't know how well you can see it, but there is a backup camera for reversing into the unknown or just out of your garage, either way. Again, not really a lot to say about this car in terms of defects. There aren't any blemishes in the paint or scratches or scrapes or dents or dings. It's really been taken care of, this. Again, plenty of leg room back here for those in the rear or the middle, depending on your configuration. So you can do that one-handed. It's a little heavy, but you know what? It's probably fine. Like I was saying, plenty of space back here for your legs and feet. And again, you found some more storage back here in the door. So as I was mentioning about this being a 7-seat vehicle, if you want to reduce it to 6, what you need to do is you pull on this thing, which will disengage something in here. I don't know what you call it. When then you can slide it forwards, and if you whip open up here, there's a secondary option, which is something of a table as far as I can tell, but you've got all the kind of descriptions in there, so it'll tell you all about it. Now this is, you guessed it, more cup storage, because you can't have enough cup holders. Ask any parent. The seats are pretty easy to put up. They're even easier to put back down again, just like that, and there you are. It does come with a roof rack, obviously. It's got a couple of cross members in here, so it's not just for good looks, it's also functional. As you'd expect on a Toyota, you've got the sort of standard Toyota switches here, the switch gear, obviously child lock for the windows so they don't throw stuff out on the highway or, you know, jump themselves. You never know what kind of crazy stuff kids get into. So let's see what we can do here. I've got that fob I mentioned before in my pocket still. You know, if you look around here, you'll notice that there isn't really a space for the key. All you need to do is push your foot on the brake, and this little light here will turn on. If I push my foot off, take my foot off, the light turns off too. Now, lights on, and it starts just as simple as that. Obviously, the process is just the same, but in reverse if you're trying to turn it off. You can see and hear, well, you can't see, you can hear the air conditioning is turned on to save me from myself. We'll get in here to show you a little bit of the details of this car. As I said, 26,908 miles currently. It's got all kinds of features. I did mention it has a sunroof. It is also a moonroof. You've got the option. I'm not quite sure how, oh, there it is, the slide. Obviously that works just fine. Automatic as well, I'm not even doing anything. And again, slides forward all by itself, which is pretty beautiful. I believe you can also tilt it for a little ventilation if you don't want the whole thing open, just like that. And that again closes it, and in case you're tired of the sun altogether, that closes nicely by itself. You've got here the auto-dimming mirror, and just kind of bringing it down. Obviously you've got the dash mat, which we've seen before. Pretty simple looking steering wheel here. You've got features for your music and the tracks selector, this mode button. Obviously temperature controls, you can turn the system off, or you can put it back to auto. A little bit less responsive on auto, a little slower, I guess. And speaking of Toyota switchgear, you've got the standard, what do you call this, cruise control stock right here. If you've ever been in Toyota since 1998, it should look pretty familiar. This button, of course, activates the displays in the center, and this, I believe, is for voice control for your phone, if I'm not mistaken. Center console, we've got plenty of options here. I'm going to turn the audio off. It already is. You've got your hazard button, which is bizarrely large, but I guess when there's a hazard, you really want to know where that button is. Also, the indication, whether the passenger airbag is activated. We've got all kinds of buttons here. Obviously, their functions are pretty clear. Independent rear seat temperature controls. This is the speed for the fan. These are the heated seats, as I mentioned before. Push them open, then it activates that way. I'm not going to turn them on because I'm already dying of heat stroke, I think. You can adjust your temperature, passenger and driver there. Obviously the other buttons are pretty self-explanatory. I'd like to show you just a few of the things that are on this. You can go over to audio if you want. I'm not going to listen to the radio though. I'd like to show you the features that this thing does come with. Now, you'll notice a few of the more popular options from 2013. They're still around, some of them not as much. We do have navigation though, in case you decide to not use your phone or gone over your limits on data or something. You've got a nice either standard or your sort of backup option as far as navigation is concerned. As you can see, those of you who are a bit more observant have seen the satellite radio options. Go back into this audio section. Turn the power on apparently. I'll just turn it all the way down for the volume. Now you got your standard for FM and oh yeah, you gotta do something like this. So you got your 6 options for. You can have 36 presets on the radio. I mean, talk about exclusive. 36 different presets is a lot. So present the audio. There it is. So you can choose between AM and FM and satellite. Of course, you have to start the subscription yourself, I believe. Bluetooth, if you want to connect to your telephone. You could add a disc if you are like my father and you still have those. You can also use aux right there. Now, aux is not available at the moment because nothing's plugged in. But that just goes right here. And you've got the options for the headphone jack or the USB. And I can tell you from personal experience, USB is super easy to use. You just plug it in, and the music starts up straight away. I'd like to show you one further thing with this. Is when you engage reverse, reversing camera works just perfectly. And I'd like to take a quick little test drive before we get going. This V6, it just drives smooth as silk, really. I'm constantly impressed with these Toyotas. And their ability to remind me to put my seatbelt on. That's it. I think this Toyota can really speak for itself. It's a beautiful car, and it will be great for you and your soccer runs. So please take a look, and hopefully we'll see you soon.